Your number one job as a crypto trader is to make money, of course, but really we should be focusing on accumulating coins that are going to increase in value over time. A lot of traders focus on Bitcoin, me included. And the reason why is because I believe that Bitcoin has a very, very bright future ahead of it, where the price can go up way, way, way higher compared to where it is right now, thinking about 10, 20, 30, 40 years in the future. So my job as a trader is, of course, to make money. But I take a portion of my profits each month and I convert it into BTC and put it in an offline wallet. Why? Because I just told you, I see value in Bitcoin for the long term. Now, with that said, as a crypto trader, there are so many different markets that we could be trading. There's, of course, stablecoin markets. There's perpetual markets using leverage. Then there are alternative markets. BTC, of course, but there's also Ethereum, Solana, XRP, depending on the exchange. In this video, I want to talk about when the optimal time to start trading alts against BTC with the purpose of growing your Bitcoin stack will be, in my opinion. And by the way, if we haven't met, my name is Aaron Dishner and you are watching Coin Bureau Trading. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I have a playlist that's over here. If you're new, watch the playlist, learn, be educated. My goal as an educator is to help you understand the benefits of crypto trading and also the different strategies that I use, be it automated or active trading in front of the computer. But I want to make this as simple as I can. So again, going back to what I said at the beginning, the main job that I have as a trader is, of course, to make money. Secondly, I want to use those profits to accumulate Bitcoin. But there's a certain magical time, some of you know what I'm going at right now or where I'm going. There's a certain magical time in which I can trade with my Bitcoin, buy some alts, and the value of that Bitcoin that I used to buy an alt will increase immensely. And that's alt season. While we can make lots of stable coins in alt season, the reality is that we should also be trying to find ways to grow our Bitcoin stack. And one of the best ways to do it is to use our altcoins, or rather use Bitcoin, buy altcoins. Altcoins go up, we sell, we have more Bitcoin. That's pretty much how it works. That's the easiest way that I can explain it. Now, admittedly, when I first got into crypto, this really messed my head because I was coming from a stock trading background. I have dollars. I buy a stock or I buy shares of a stock. It goes up, it goes down, and that share is always sold for dollars, whether I make a profit or a loss. Whereas in crypto, we can get situations like this, where if I were to buy ARDR, ARDR, here on November 23rd, it actually appreciated 44% over, I think, like 12 days over here on the BTC market on Binance. But the USD equivalent only increased by 29%. And then when it started to go up more over here on December 4th, notice it went up higher here. It finally matched it. By that time, it had already dropped. Here's December 4th right there. Isn't that weird? This is one of the most confusing things that tripped me up for a little bit too long. I'm not a dumb person, but this really messed my head. But here's the idea. When Bitcoin is moving, it's moving a lot of different pieces, and there isn't just one market or one quote currency that we use to trade in crypto. We can use multiple markets or quote markets, USDT, USDC, whatever the USD you want to use. Those are all stablecoin markets, and those make the most sense. We know that Bitcoin is just under $100,000, and we know that because we're looking at the valuation of Bitcoin in dollars. But we can also find the valuation of Ethereum in Bitcoin, or Solana and XRP, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there are lots of these alternative markets that can be admittedly a little bit confusing. So why would you want to be trading? And we're just going to focus on Bitcoin. Why would you want to focus on these markets? Because the reality is it is really bad. Even though this looks like an amazing win right here of 40%, if we zoom out to the weekly time frame for this same chart, yes, I know I have some profits right there. I want you to zoom out though, and we're going to take off all the indicators, all right? I want you to see this. Which direction has ARDR been going ever since it was listed in, pre-2017? Down. That's right. Why has this been going down for the last 8 years? Well, the reason is obvious, because this is ARDR against Bitcoin. If we do the same exercise here for the Ardor stablecoin chart, or the stablecoin pairing, and we zoom out, we don't have that much data here. That's because Binance most likely, I don't want to delete those. Actually, I just want to hide. Binance most likely had some sort of rebranding, or they launched it, or they redid it, or whatever. So that way they're hiding the fact that there's massive drawdown where it looks like Ardor is a steal under 10 cents. But in reality, we know it used to be a whole lot more valuable. So anyway, that's another thing altogether. But still, looking at Ardor's performance over the last 5 years, May 2020, up till now, it's only up 148%. Whereas if we look at Bitcoin over the same period, Bitcoin has performed so much better. So what am I trying to say here? I'm saying that we don't want to focus on trading against Bitcoin, or rather using our Bitcoin for trading alts all the time. But there are optimal seasons or market conditions in which we can do this to, again, grow our Bitcoin stack. We can do the same thing as well with other alternative markets, but again, I want to just focus on Bitcoin. I'm saying this over and over because I don't want you to get distracted yet. There's a lot of amazing things that you can do in crypto, but let's just focus on this, okay? Now, why would we want to use our Bitcoin to buy something like Ardor? Well, if we zoom in on the daily time frame and we go back to our current day and time, there are opportunities that present itself to be pretty lucrative. For one, we can see that there are several of these pops and these pumps and these bounces in which we could trade using our Bitcoin to buy Ardor and then selling and taking a profit in Bitcoin. But the problem is that if we don't enter at the right time or trade at the right time, we might suffer just a teensy weensy bit of drawdown. And how bad is that drawdown? Well, buying here in December 2023, when Bitcoin was rallying, when Bitcoin rallies and altcoins typically can't keep up, we see the value of Ardor against BTC, again, if we're holding a position, is going underwater quickly. And after about 6 months, now this position is down 58%. This isn't to say that you cannot trade Ardor or BTC during this time, but let me tell you from years and years of experience using Bitcoin to trade alternative markets, it's not fun. It's quite difficult to trade markets like this that are on a downtrend. So the first thing I want to tell you is that the seasons have to do with the seasons of the market. When Bitcoin is very, very, very bullish, we want to avoid using our Bitcoin and buying alts because chances are we're going to see some massive drawdown. If we go back to the last bull market rally over here, and let me just turn off all this stuff because it can be a little bit noisy. Okay, here we go. This is when Bitcoin really started to move up higher. Note the date. Note the time frame, okay? Really, it started to drag down from about September. And this is a really awful period of chop for many, many altcoins. We saw the value of Ardor drop 70%. Good Lord. Over 119 days. So from September all the way to January. But check this out. When Bitcoin started to top out, it didn't really. Actually, it went up a lot higher, but there's something else that happened. I'm going to wrap this video up with that. I'm not going to forget. Hope I don't forget. Remind me, okay? What happened is that Ardor started to pump. Bitcoin was still pumping, but Ardor, an altcoin, started to get a lot more volume, where we saw the value of Ardor pump a total of 571%, meaning that if we put in 0.01 BTC, we could magically close this trade out exactly the peak on top. Let's just do here for like a 3x, all right? If we magically sold for a 3x, then that means that we're walking away with more Bitcoin than we put in. It's that easy. But the problem is, when do you enter? What signs do you look for? How do you know? How do you know it's going to pop or pump? To be honest, we're all doing our best to make the most educated guesses that we can. But the reality is that this is not a random event, because if we go back even further, back in 2018 January, we saw an incredible alt rally, or right here, where in this 1 month to 2 month period, we saw coins like Ardor doing absolutely nothing until finally, all of a sudden, they shoot up hundreds and hundreds of percent in a very small window, about a month. So again, Bitcoin is on the rise. It starts to peak out in about December 2017. So what happens is there's a rotation. All the Bitcoin that people have, they start buying alts with it to increase the value of their Bitcoin. Now, if you sold up here and you got the peak out top January 16th, 2018, good for you. But the reality is that most people didn't sell there. Most people didn't even sell here. Most people probably sold around here. But still, for a cool 142%, not too shabby. Unless you're holding Bitcoin through this time and you're not capitalizing on the fact that you just made a profit in BTC and Bitcoin went from 20K down to 12K, then back up to 16, then down to 6. Like, it was very volatile during that time. And I know the argument from all the Bitcoin hodlers are going to say, well, you could have just bought the Pico top in 2018. You could have just held and you'd be up 5x now. Yeah, I don't think I want to hold a position, though, that's going to lose 80% of its value over the next 12 months. It doesn't make sense as an investment. Long term, sure, okay, but it makes way more sense to buy at set intervals or prices like a DCA style and then sell on the uptrends because we all know that there's going to be some sort of bearish drawdown. So just wanted to answer all those bearish voices in my head. Apparently, I'm okay. I'm okay. So let's go back to the current day. There will be periods of time that aren't necessarily alt season, but we will see charts like Ardor pump out of nowhere, pumping up 70%, pumping up 82%. And this traps a lot of people thinking, okay, well, it's going to keep pumping and pumping, except it breaks down and it falls down. This can be a difficult chart to trade if you don't use a DCA strategy or you just don't cut your losses quickly. Position sizing has a lot to do with it too. Now, one thing you'll find is that not every single exchange offers these alternative markets. If we go over to Bybit, by the way, there are links in the description of this video. I have an affiliate link. If you want to click it, cool. If not, you already have a Bybit account, cool. But they're there. Obligatory little plug, okay? But if we go to Bybit, to the drop down, we see that there are stablecoin markets. There's euros. There's the Brazilian. I don't even know what this is. Someone will tell me in the comments, I'm sure. There's the Peloton. And then there's the Turkish Tron right there. Then Solana as an alternative market, except it's just BB Sol. We have some BTC pairs that are here. But one thing that's very obvious is that volume takes a big, big drop. Then, of course, we have Ethereum, but there's only METH and WITH. We have DAI, another stablecoin, and BRZ. Okay, maybe that's the Brazilian one. And this one is the, I don't care. It's all right. Not that I don't care about your countries, guys, and your currency, but still, let's keep going. If we go to OKX, again, a link is in the description below, and we look at their markets, what you'll find is that some of these exchanges don't have these other alternative markets. If I were to click on, let's see, Ape, right? We have Ape, USDT, stablecoin, USDC, stablecoin, NFT. How is that Ape? Maybe it's in like the same area. So we go to spot. Yeah, there's no alternative market here for it. If I went to ETH-BTC, there's ETH-BTC. If I go to Solana BTC, okay, there's Solana BTC. There's Solana against ETH. But you'll notice that the volume for this, and again, this is not a slight against OKX or against Bybit, but the volume on these is really low. What gives? Well, if we go back to TradingView, it's actually really obvious. Down here, we have a free TradingView indicator. I'll include it in the link in the description. This is the TBT base to quote currency converter. Yeah, it's a mouthful. But all of this does is it converts the traded volume for the base currency, Bitcoin, into the quote currency, Tether USDT, or Bitcoin, or Ethereum, or Solana, whatever. So this way I know how much USDT or quote currency is being traded every single day. So I find this to be much more beneficial for me as a trader, especially trading on alternative markets like the BTC market. Why? Well, if we compare the volume between the two, it's pretty obvious. Ardor over here, and we'll go to the daily so that way we're looking at the same exact thing. Here, I don't want to make anything too distracting. I just want to focus on this. If we look at this yellow moving average right here, and it's just a 30 SMA, it shows that the daily MA for, or rather the smooth moving average of the last 30 days is about $2.4 million, specifically on Binance's ARDR USDT ticker. But if we look at the same exchange, same base currency, but a different quote currency, we're only looking at 1.56 Bitcoin. Now, one Bitcoin, we're just going to round it up to $100,000. So we're looking at $150,000 in trading volume for ARDR BTC versus 2.4 million in stablecoins. This should put up a couple of red flags. The main thing you need to understand when you're trading on alternative markets is you have to pay attention to the volume. There will be periods where things are going to be pumping and everything's going to be outperforming Bitcoin, and you'll see lots of traders, or rather you'll see the volume, so I'm assuming it's traders, retail traders, using their Bitcoin to put it into things like Ardor, Solana, Ethereum, TRX, especially if charts are pumping, if there's a bullish narrative, good news happening, charts are super bullish and they're trending up. It makes a lot of sense because that way you can grow your BTC stack when Bitcoin is relatively stable, but alts are really shooting up. It allows you to capitalize on that bullish base currencies increase in volume and price. Does that make sense? So again, if we take an example of XRP, let's go back over here. So type in XRP BTC. You'll also notice that it's not available on every single exchange. It is a very, very popular trading pair. We are going to go here and look on Bybit, okay? So on this specific ticker, XRP BTC on Bybit. Now, we need to do a fair comparison because we want to also go look at Bybit to compare and contrast volume. So first things first, what does the volume look like? What's the difference? We're looking at about $557 million on average, according to that yellow number right there, which is a 30 SMA, for XRP USDT on the spot market. Not leverage, just spot. Looking as well on the spot market for XRP BTC, we're looking at about 104 Bitcoin over the last 30 days. Why did this increase? Well, like I just said, buying Bitcoin on Bybit, buying XRP with Bitcoin on Bybit, and we see the value of XRP shoot up 331% means that you're getting a 3x. Now, there's no way we could have known we're going to get that exact number. But it is interesting to note that when things get bullish for certain coins, be it alt season or be it some sort of good news or narrative that's happening, and there has been a lot of really positive news around XRP, this presents a very interesting arbitrage opportunity where we're holding onto our Bitcoin that's going up during this time, but we can actually grow our Bitcoin by using that Bitcoin, buy XRP. The price appreciates over 300%. We can take our profit on the way up. We can hold it if we want to. If we think it's going to go higher, great, we can hold it. But the main point is that you're growing your Bitcoin stack by buying something that's going up. Now, in contrast, over that same period, we saw XRP shoot up in dollar value 482%. Why did this not match up? Well, the answer is pretty easy. The reason why XRP did not increase on the XRP BTC ticker as it did on XRP USDT is that this is the USD value. And over the same period of time, the value of Bitcoin was going up as well. So as the value of Bitcoin is increasing, the only way that you're going to make money on a trend move like this, on a trend trade, is the base currency, XRP, has to be outperforming Bitcoin. And the reality of a chart like this, and I need to find a very old chart to show you exactly what I'm talking about. The reality is that most of the time, history tells us that it is not a very smart idea to just blindly buy and hold alts or the base currency with Bitcoin. We can see the value here of XRP on Binance back in 2013 before Binance even existed, which they just have some not outdated, but they have some retrofitted charts. Good for them. But if we bought and held back in 2013, used Bitcoin to buy XRP, right now we're down 53%. Why? Because Bitcoin's value has greatly exceeded the value of XRP over this same period of nearly 12 years. There's a lot to gain from using our Bitcoin to buy these base coin currency, or sorry, these base market currencies, altcoins. But we need to be we need to be especially cautious and careful to be mindful of the seasons and the signals and what's happening in the market. There might be a short-term burst or boom in volume with good news happening for a coin, and it's going to continue to happen. There might be a new alt season that's coming where things are going to go absolutely bananas nuts, and it makes a lot of sense to use our Bitcoin to buy alts to increase our Bitcoin stack. So what are you thought I was done. I'm not done. This video is going deep. How are we? 20 minutes? I got like 5 more, I think, left to be. What is the signal? Oh, you guys were so awesome. In a video I did like a couple weeks ago, I said the best part at the end. You guys left that comment. Do it again on this video because that was hilarious seeing all those comments. So this is literally the best part of this video, and I'm saving it to the very end. I was not planning on doing this again. I like to fly by the seat of my pants on the flying carpet of my jeans. So, but do it. Type right now in little comments. I'm like a decrepit T-Rex right now. I hope I'm not like this in the future. Oh, can you imagine that? Don't imagine that. Let's focus. Write in the comments. The best parts at the end. Watch to the end, the best parts at the end. Because this is the signal that I'm talking about that's going to give you the confidence that you need to know when it's a good time to pivot into these BTC paired trades. Okay? All right, here we go. So the first thing that we need, the first ingredient in our spicy altcoin salsa is Bitcoin should stabilize after moving up, which it kind of is right now. But I think it will go higher. But let's go back over here, okay? We know that Bitcoin was on a massive rally from mid-October all the way into March. It moved up 440%. But in January 2021, something interesting happened. Even though the price of Bitcoin continued to move up over another, 4-month period, moved up another 60%. During this period, where Bitcoin wasn't necessarily stable, but it wasn't mooning, this is when alts really took off. If we go over here and just look at Solana during that time, right? Here's December, here's January. Solana during that same period shot up 2,711%. That means that Sol BTC during that same period, we don't have the data there, so I need to use this chart. Same period, right? Here's January. Look at this. January, we got the Pico bottom over that same time, 6,954% gain. That means it's almost a 70x. Using 0.01 Bitcoin into this and not touching and not taking profit, you would walk away with 6.9 Bitcoin at the end. If my math is correct, which it very well could not be because I'm, again, flying by the seat of my pants. But you get the idea? When Bitcoin starts to stabilize, when Bitcoin starts to chill out and calm down, even though it's on a rip roar, we need the first part. There has to be a very bullish impulse on Bitcoin first, and Bitcoin typically leads the way. But there comes an inflection point. Do you know what that is? The truth is that if you've been watching my videos and you're keeping track, I'm going to go back over here. I need you to watch this. Watch this Bitcoin dominance video. It's not that old. It's only 8 days ago. And if you still need help, I have another dominance video right here. Crypto dominance on easy mode. Views are way too low for this video because there's so much in it. I understand it's long and it might be boring for some people. But you know what? People that are looking to be entertained quickly aren't going to be making money. So do your research. Do your homework right now because this is not happening yet, but it will. So what was the inflection point here in January that launched alts into Valhalla over a 4-month period? What was it? Well, the price of Bitcoin appreciated, but alts were going absolutely crazy during this time. Why? We need to look at Bitcoin dominance during this time. So we can see Bitcoin dominance was doing pretty well. We see a huge increase in Bitcoin dominance, okay? From September 2020 to December 2020, it increased by 26% and it topped out right here. This was our Pico top on Bitcoin dominance in this pre-bull, or rather it's the beginning of the bull market. Then look at what happened over this next period from, all the way to April. We saw a huge decline in Bitcoin dominance. See that? Even just to here, it retraced and lost 12. I can read. It's okay. Not having an aneurysm yet. No, God, thank you. I'm okay. 19% down. So where did things shift to? Because they sure as heck fire didn't go to stablecoins, because stablecoin dominance dropped like a stone. When stablecoin dominance is dropping, when Bitcoin dominance is dropping, that means that dominance has to be shifting somewhere else. And lo and behold, what actually happened next is we saw others' dominance increase by 200% over this period. This is about 5 months, okay? And that same chart that I showed you for Solana BTC, where it increased by nearly a 70x return. That was a massive, massive move. What was the real signal that we were going to be rallying in that huge way? Bitcoin dominance falling, stablecoin dominance falling, others' dominance rising. Get it? It makes complete sense if you think about everything I've shared up to this point, where we have Bitcoin USDT, the base and the quote currency. Then we have Ethereum USDT or ETHBTC or ETHSOL or ETH blah, 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 blah. So if our base currency, Ethereum, is going up and the value of our quote currency is staying stagnant, like $1, or maybe Bitcoin is topping out and the value of Ethereum goes up 200%, while Bitcoin is just kind of ranging, we're able to buy Ethereum with our Bitcoin. So that way, when Ethereum appreciates, boom, we're walking away with more BTC. Does this make sense? We are waiting for a couple of signals to happen before this is really going to take off. But I want to give you the pre-launch sequence so that way you understand what I'm talking about. So looking at our current day, right now, stablecoin dominance has been dropping, which is a good sign. It needs to drop more. Bitcoin dominance has not been dropping. It dropped a little bit from 53%. So it fell a little bit, which is great. We need to see this continue to plummet. It's not there yet. But once we see Bitcoin dominance really start to tumble and stablecoin dominance is agreeing, yes, it's also falling, then that means that dominance pie is being shrinked up and shriveled up for Bitcoin and for stables, which means that that dominance has to be shifted somewhere else. And that place is going to be others' dominance, which really had a nice start, but it got rejected. Again, I don't think we're there yet, but I want to show you the formula to growing your Bitcoin stack, because maybe you've invested everything you have in alts right now. So if you want to take profit in stablecoins, go for it. But I would strongly have you consider that was a weird way to say that, wasn't it? I would advise you to consider the probabilities of growing your Bitcoins. You want to make more Bitcoin, right? Right, I thought so. The best way is going to be looking at how you're going to take profit. Maybe you've used dollars to buy some sort of coin or whatever, and that coin's going up big time against BTC. Look to see, is there an alternative market? Could you actually sell some of it in stable coins and some of it in Bitcoin so that way you can hold it for a longer amount of time? You get it? Look at ways and methods and seasons or periods or news so that way you can use your BTC to buy alts so that way they appreciate and you walk away with more Bitcoin. I recognize that this video is a little bit long and it might be a little bit complicated, but this is for the people that are really looking into methods on how to grow their Bitcoin stack. Again, gotta leave that comment down below and also let me know what else that you learned from this video that you may not have understood before. Maybe I just kind of shed some light. I almost said shown some light, shed some light. I obviously don't use a script or like a teleprompter at all or notes whatsoever. It's way more fun to do it this way. But maybe I shed some light on a gray area that you have in crypto. Let me know what you've learned, because chances are when you type something that you've learned, someone might be a little bit too embarrassed to write it and they'll see something and that will resonate with them, or they may have missed it. So when we learn together, we're going to learn a lot faster. Community learning is the way to go. And this is the best channel to subscribe to get all of that good community learning crypto trading goodness from the Coin Bureau Trading Channel. Oh man, it's a fun video. Thanks guys for hanging out with me. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.